Well, welcome, folks. Welcome. My name is Dr. Annie Isabel Fukushima. Congratulations to all of you for being either awarded an Undergraduate Research Opportunity Program Award or the Wilkes funding. I am here with my dog, Hera. So those on Zoom, sorry you're missing out. There is a little 11-pound Shih Tzu that has joined the meeting. Let's see. So Cindy is going to tell you about what this is. Cindy, what's this? What's this slide?
So just go ahead and sign in. So this is how we'll know that you're here. If you're online, we will drop the link in the chat. And then if you are here in the building, scan this QR code. This will verify your participation today.
Yeah, okay, great. So why don't we just give you a moment if you have not done it already? This is the moment you do take out your phones. We love it to see your phones coming out. No, everyone did it already? They were fast. Okay. How do I advance your slides? I don't know how to advance your slides.
Here we go. Just there.
All right, I already introduced myself. My name is Dr. Annie Isabel Fukushima. I have the privilege of running the Office of Undergraduate Research. I'm also joined by Cindy. Cindy, why don't you introduce yourself? And actually, we'll bring the team up here and you'll also introduce yourself. So you may as well get on the ready and because we're going to pass the mic.
Hi, everyone. I'm Cindy Greaves, the Associate Director in the Office of Undergraduate Research. I run the UROP program and do all the paying and the hiring. So you received emails from me, but it's nice to see you all here today. So if you're in person, sorry for the screen you're seeing, but you'll get the gist of it. And I'll pass it off to Cade.
Hey everybody, I'm Cade Farragher. I'm the outreach coordinator here with the Office of Undergraduate Research. So if you guys have any questions, you might see me around in classes making presentations or around on campus, just kind of spreading the word. But if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'm on the website as well.
Is Shelly?
Yes.
Oh, just stand by.
Okay. Hi, I'm Shelley Parker. I'm the events manager for OUR. So I organize all the education series, the symposia, anything like that. So if you have any questions about those, let me know.
Hi, I'm Megan. I work with the Office of Undergraduate Research as a student leader. I run our IRB labs. So for any reason you're part of submitting the IRB for any research you're part of and you have any questions, you can drop it into the IRB labs. Hi, I'm Callista Leggett. I'm also an undergraduate research leader. I'm also our social media specialist. So if you guys aren't following our Instagram, it's UROP. And we've worked together and
Right. All right, folks. Well, first of all, congratulations again on getting those very competitive awards every year. UROP and Wilkes gets even more competitive. You should be incredibly proud of yourselves for being able to be awarded, applying and getting the funds. Last year, we funded about 650 undergraduate researchers. And what we know about our students who get fundings from our office is that you're more likely to graduate in 4 to 6 years, where 90% of our students graduated in 6 years, as well as what we know is 78% are more likely to land a job. And Hera has tons of feels about graduation. And so, yeah, she's a puppy still. All right, we're going to keep moving ahead. One of the things about the Office of Undergraduate Research is that we sit under undergraduate studies, and that means that we are committed to your success towards graduating. And the Office of Undergraduate Research, hey, Cindy, can you just take her? Thank you. The Office of Undergraduate Research is committed to promoting student and faculty collaborations. All of you are doing wonderful work with your faculty mentors. You got awarded because you are working with wonderful mentors who want to see you succeed. And so congrats on that. We know that many of you are going to get all kinds of skills from the research that you're doing, whether it's fundamental skills that will prepare you for the workforce, or if you're thinking about graduate school, it'll help you get prepared for that. Some of you may even find, hey, I don't like doing this thing very much. I don't think I want to do it ever again. But we do find that in itself is also incredibly meaningful. Learning the things you love to do and learning the things that maybe aren't your jam, so you don't get stuck doing it for the rest of your career. The office is committed to a range of things, and Shelley here runs our education series. Last year, we had over 6,000 individuals who joined our education series, so you'll hear her voice quite a bit throughout the semester. So now you know what Shelley looks like, the wonderful Shelley who runs the Ed series. We also do a lot of grants and awards. Cindy's later going to tell you more about those opportunities, as well as one of the things I just want to remind you all about is that we do have the annual award ceremony, and I really encourage you to actually submit yourself or submit your mentors to be recognized at our annual award ceremony. Usually the deadlines for that is somewhere between January and February. So if you don't know who your college contact is and you want to nominate someone and you don't know if you saw a message come out, maybe you missed it, just reach out to the office and we'll get you connected to a person who can help you know about the process. One thing I wanted to also let you know about, these folks here do research advising. So they were talking about IRB labs and all of that fun stuff. You know, as you do research, there are things that happen, things come up. Sometimes you might feel like you're miscommunicating with your mentor, miscommunicating with another member on the team. Things may feel like they're not super easy. You really should see the Office of Undergraduate Research as a resource for all of you. You can always reach out to us. We want to be here to support you and your research, and we want to advocate for you. So if there's things we can do to help you maybe think through strategies, whether it's with your mentor or with the research team or other things, please do connect with a member of the team. We're really here to support you. But we're really excited to see you really develop those fundamental skills. We always say all of our events are favorite events, but really one of our favorite events is a symposium. Some of you may choose to present at the fall symposium, but you don't have to do it until before you graduate. But what we love seeing at those presentations is the kind of work that you've done. I've seen people bring bricks to those events, to students who worked in ceramics, as well as a range of sciencing and health research, lots of filleted mice in those presentations, lots of things going on in your research. But again, I'm just here to congratulate you. The real boss of today is Cindy Greaves. So anytime Cindy sends you a message, you really should answer her emails because it has something to do with being paid or ensuring that things are moving forward. So please always be responsive to Cindy if she has questions or if you need anything. Cindy can always be your first stop as well. She's really here to support you. So I'm going to return to my little Hera, and actually I have a couple meetings to pop over to. And so you're in really good hands with the team, and Cindy's going to take the rest of the show from here. But please do drop by the Office of Undergraduate Research if you want to say hello to Hera. She's always there as well. She's just as vocal. All right.
Thank you. Okay, so we have orientation today for students who are in Europe and also in the Wilkes Scholars Program. What this program does is we pay students to do research with faculty mentors, and that's what you are all doing. The Europe Scholarship is a $1,200 taxable stipend for 120 hours of work during one semester. And for those of you who received the Wilkes Scholar stipend, you have refer to your original email award letter for your funding amounts. And you can get awarded up to 2 semesters of funding. So that is, if you got Wilkes for 2 semesters, after that 2 semesters was up, you would also be eligible for 2 semesters of UROP, and vice versa. If you did UROP, and then if you were also doing some climate research, you could go apply for Wilkes. So 2 semesters of each. By raise of hands, I can't see anybody online right now, but everybody that's in person, who is on your renewal semester right now? Your second semester in one of the programs. Awesome. So we have a lot of new students. Welcome back to all of you renewals. So if you're interested in applying for those fundings, take a look at our future deadlines. The next deadline will be on Halloween, October 31st, and that is for funding for spring semester. So if you are eligible to get more funding, keep that date in mind. So we're going to go over some of the expectations for being in this program. There's a website here. On our website, there's a current scholars resources page, and that will have everything that you'll need to know, everything that we'll go over today. One of the first things you were expected to do is attend orientation. So thank you for being here. As long as you signed in, you will get credit for being here. So we appreciate it. You will also need to attend 2 education series events. Dr. Fukushima had mentioned that, but we'll go over those again shortly. You'll need to complete an online final report. This is something you'll do at the end of the semester. It's not a written report. It is an online few questions, takes you maybe 5 to 10 minutes to fill it out. It kind of shows us how we're doing, how the program's doing, what we can do better, how your semester went. Just a way for us to improve our program. And then you will all be required to participate and present at one of our undergraduate research symposiums before you graduate. Note to the Wilkes scholars, there is the Wilkes Climate Summit in May that all Wilkes scholars will be required to participate in. You'll be hearing from the Wilkes Center for more information on that. Okay, more expectations. We just expect you to read and respond to any correspondence from our office. Like Dr. Fukushima said, if you get an email from me, most likely it has to do with your payments, your funding, or to make sure that your requirements are taken care of. We do expect that you're conducting the research project under the supervision of a faculty mentor as you proposed in your application. You wrote that proposal. It was reviewed by faculty members. It was scored and you were awarded. So if you have any substantial deviations from that project, please let our office know. When I say substantial deviations, that means maybe your mentor is leaving the university, or maybe you have a major piece of equipment that is down and you will have to take weeks and weeks and weeks, a week break or something like that. Standard, hinders here or there, research, little pauses or issues that you come up with, we don't need to worry about that. But if it's something substantial, please do let us know so we can work it out and figure out what we need to do. We ask that you obtain and maintain certifications. So if you're doing any kind of human subjects or animal research, environmental health, please check with your mentor to make sure that you have the correct certifications. If you need IRB approval before you continue doing your work, Megan will talk a little bit more about that, how you can get started. But yeah, check in with your mentor to make sure that you are, you got everything you need to continue doing the research that you're working on. And then we just ask that you acknowledge support from the Office of Undergraduate Research. So in any of your dissemination. So if you are presenting your work somewhere, you're giving a presentation with a poster or an oral presentation, just put our logo on your poster somewhere with a little thank you to the Office of Undergraduate Research, or this funding was made possible. If you need that logo or that text, please reach out to our office. We actually have it on our website, I believe, too. So we can direct you to where you need to go for that. So with this stipend that you're going to all get, you have been hired as a part-time temporary employee as a research assistant. So everybody should have already sent your new hire form to Elena in HR. If you are a non-U of U employee and this is your first hiring, you probably have had to fill out an I-9, do that process. If you haven't completed the I-9 process, please do that immediately. You may have a date scheduled already, but please take care of that. If you are unsure, if you are already a current University of Utah employee, chances are we were able to hire you. It's really easy to hire you for UROP when you already have a job on campus. But you should know if you needed to fill out the I-9, Elena Sharma in HR would have reached out to you. If you're unsure, come and let me know. I do have a list of students who I think we're still pending the I-9. We already went over the stipend. So your hiring for UROP and Wilkes will be effective from August 18th through November 15th. Those are your hiring start and your end date. So this is important. If you have another job on campus and you're doing the same research that you are doing for your UROP or your Wilkes, you can't be getting paid duplicates. You can't be getting paid twice. So maybe your lab is already paying you and then you also wanted to get UROP funding. The lab will probably have to stop paying you unless you are doing different work. Unless your UROP hours are separate from your lab hours, that is acceptable, but you can't double dip. Question over here.
Yeah, UROP pays only for 10 hours a week. Let's say we work 20, you'll get paid for those other 10 hours?
So those additional 10 hours, you could work something out with your mentor to get paid for those. Yeah. Yep. Any other questions on that? Another question. So the university does, if you are a student working and you have a student job, once you go over that 20 hours, the departments that are hiring you may have to pay like benefits. So it is possible to work more than 20 hours. You just, as long as those departments allow it. UROP does allow that. So we have students who are working more than 20 hours, multiple jobs. I know that there's like in housing, they don't let students work more than 20 hours. And so if you're working in housing, you usually can't get another job on campus. But it's allowable. You just have to ask your other employers if they allow you to work more than 20 hours. So here are your paydays for the semester. You'll get 6 equal payments over the course of the semester. Please keep in mind the first payment is September 5th, so please don't email me before that asking when you're going to get paid. So the university gets paid on the 7th and the 22nd of every month. Those are the pay periods. If one of those days falls on a Saturday or a holiday, you get paid the Friday before. So your official start date was August 18th. Once that pay period's over, your first pay period will be on September 5th. If you have another job on campus and you have your direct deposit set up, your UROP payment, your Wilkes payment will go into your same paycheck and it will all be combined. So sometimes you won't notice it, you won't see it. Look on CIS, you can pull up a copy of your stub, your check stub, and you'll be able to see the breakdown. So the university pretty much recommends that every employee sign up for direct deposit. If you are not signed up for direct deposit and you get a check mailed to your house or some address that you don't live there anymore, you'll be responsible for doing any kind of stop payment and reissuing. So please sign up for direct deposit. If you already have a job on campus and you have direct deposit, it's going to be fine. Your direct deposit's already set up. If you're new, please go in and set up your direct deposit. You should all have access to CIS and you'll all have an employee section, an employee tab, and there's a payroll, taxes, and salaries little box on there, and you can go right to the direct deposit. Or from our website, the our.utah.edu/UROP. This is our website. If you go over to that right-hand corner under that current scholars resources page, it'll take you to a box and it has direct deposit, and that'll take you to the same spot. So again, if you already have direct deposit set up, it doesn't hurt to go in there and just make sure that it is going to the correct bank account. So every employee of the U has to fill out the employee intellectual property assignment agreement. You probably have already done this. If you haven't, I sent a link to you in your award letter, so you'll have it there. I'm not sure if payroll also reminds you to fill this out. If you've already filled it out once, you don't have to fill it out again. So again, reminder, the way a stipend is set up through payroll is the one lump sum is set up, and then you'll receive equal payments throughout the semester. So there's no time cards. Do not use Chronos if you have a job that uses Chronos. There's no in punches or out punches. But because of this, you may wonder how you are going to keep track of your hours. So what we want you to do is devise a schedule with your mentor so that you can ensure that you're contributing 120 hours for the semester. And this should just be something you can use whatever format you want. We do have on our current scholars resources, we have a UROP schedule template. It's something like this. It just kind of shows you the weeks that you're working, the work that you're planning on working on, and how many hours you put towards that. And the reason why we want you to do this is if for some reason your mentor has any questions or issues with your progress, or maybe you're not showing up, we can just go back to the schedule that you made so that they can see that you did have something planned. Most likely, it does happen when students have or mentors have issues with students, but it doesn't happen a lot. But if it does, we want to be able to look back on this documentation. So we don't need a copy of it unless there's a problem. So set up a schedule with your mentor, keep it for your own records. We'll reach out if we need it. And if you do have what's good about this is if you do have another job on campus, if you have another job in the same lab and you're putting additional hours towards a different project, it kind of is a good way to keep track of the two tasks and jobs and the hours that you're doing between those projects. So we check in with your mentor twice a month, just to make sure that you're progressing and that everything's going okay. And then they can follow up if there's anything they need to make us aware of. If there are any challenges with these expectations. So if your mentor does say that there's an issue, this person isn't showing up, I don't know what they're doing, they're not doing rarely do they say they're not doing a good job. You are always doing a good job. Usually it's something has come up with the student and they're unable to participate anymore. So the mentor will reach out to us. We'll reach out to you to figure out a solution, to figure out what's happening. And then, we'll have a timeline or a deadline for when you want to resolve it. If you drop off the face of the earth and we just don't know what's going on, we'll just have to withdraw you from the program so that you won't get the funding anymore. We don't like to do this, so please do let us know if something comes up. If you have any concerns yourself with your mentor or anyone in your lab and you're not quite sure how to handle it, please reach out to our office. And if we have resources that we can direct you to, or Dr. Fukushima is happy to follow up with you and help you resolve that. So forfeiture, failure to meet any of these expectations and policies will result in the forfeiture of the stipend. Doesn't happen very often, but yes, it has happened in the past. So just keep doing the good work that you're doing and you'll be fine. If you need to withdraw, if something has come up and you just know you're not going to be able to participate anymore, send an email to our office, our@utah.edu, or to me. You should all have my email addresses. We just want to make sure that we can stop the payment. You will get the money that you earned, and then we'll just stop any future payments. We would hate to send you money that you didn't deserve and then have to come back and have you return it. So any questions on any of that? The stipends that you'll be receiving, I-9, if you haven't completed your I-9, get that completed. Question over here.
Is this slideshow going to be uploaded anywhere else?
So is the slideshow, we're actually recording it on Zoom right now, the correct slides. Those people on Zoom see the correct slides. And yes, we will save it. I'll send everything to you. I can send you the PowerPoint slides. I can send you a link to this. We'll post it to YouTube, so you'll have all that. So as a participant of UROP and Wilkes, we do have some requirements. So one of the things our office offers is the education series. This is a program that Shelley runs. We get so many students participating, and it is a series of educational events, workshops on topics that are of interest to undergraduate researchers. They're very beneficial. A lot of the topics are topics that you might not. Maybe your professor doesn't have time to teach them in your lab isn't training you on any of this stuff. That's why we have offered these. And a lot of these are recommendations from students that would love to have these topics. And so we are like, yep, we can do that. So the new topics for this semester, some of them are responsible use of AI, crafting an effective resume or a CV, navigating uncertainty in research, and we have so much more. So I will send you the link to our Ed series, and you can take a look at those. And then we have a bunch that are recorded. We call those on demand. And so, yeah, feel free to watch any of those. But as a participant, you are required to attend 2 of those events. When we say 2, they're all over Zoom, but we want you all to attend a live Zoom one. You can attend multiple, but you do have to attend 2 events. One needs to be at least live. The other one can be one of the ones that we already have recorded. And in order to verify that you have participated in this event, you have to complete the evaluation form. It's just a quick form that tells us, what event you were at, and then it asks a few questions about it. This is really helpful for us to know if this is something we should do again in the future, or it gives you an opportunity to give any feedback. So we do read these, and we're really interested in what you have to say. They're open to anybody. So you can be in your lab members can come and join. It's open to anybody on campus. It's not just for UROP and Wilkes students. And like I said, we have a whole, Shelley, do we know how many recorded ones we have? Over 80 recorded ones. So look through, use the search field, topics on how to create posters, how to give public speaking, all that stuff. So you have to attend 2 of those by the end of the semester. And I will be following up towards the end of the semester. And if you don't if you don't attend 2 of these events by the end of the semester, then we can't give you any future funding. So just be sure to do that. I had talked about submitting a final report and it's just a reflection. It's a quick online report. This is another thing. I'll send you an email out towards the end of the semester, just reminding you that you have to do this. Takes you like 5 to 10 minutes, not a written report. Don't ask where you turn in your written report. Has any of you renewals? Did you already do that? Can you verify that it's not hard? Or yeah, it's easy. We also have the link to that final report in that current scholars webpage, and it's always available. So wait till the end of the semester to fill it out. It's due by the last day of class, which I believe is December 4th. Does anybody know that? I think December 4th is the last day of class. So our undergraduate research symposium, by raise of hands for anybody in here, has anybody already presented at our symposium? Okay, a few people have presented at our symposium. So all of our UROP and Wilkes scholars are required to present at one of the symposiums. We do have one in the spring, the summer, and the fall. So the spring symposium is our largest event. We take over the whole Union building, and this particular symposium is where you can present a poster, you can do a talk, you can do any kind of performance, visual arts. The whole ballroom is full of posters, and then all the rooms is where we do our oral presentations. In the summer semester, we only do a poster session, usually in the alumni house. And then the fall one is virtual only. So you can choose which one you want to do. I highly recommend doing the spring one. It's really fun and just, it's an exciting day. So you're presenting your work to your university community. It's open to the public. And we just require that you present at least once before you graduate. So you need to present your UROP or your Wilkes research at one of these events. Wilkes scholars, again, reminder, you will also be having to present at the Wilkes Climate Summit. So here's the dates of our next symposiums. The fall one will be December 5th, and then the spring one is April 7th. The virtual one is you just submit your presentation online, and it just goes online the day of December 5th. And then the registration for spring is going to be in March. So you have some time to prepare for this. Question?
Yeah, so if we want to do both UROPs, do we have to present for one for each of the UROPs?
So do you have to present for each semester you're in Europe? No, you just need to present one time before you graduate. Yep. Have we received any questions on the Zoom, Shelley? Okay, another question.
Scholars are required to do both the Wilkes Summit and the UROP?
Yes, you are required because we have an undergraduate research scholar designation that I'll talk about shortly, and this symposium is the requirement for that. So if you have any questions about your stipend or your program requirements, if it's for UROP, please contact me. If you have any questions about the Wilkes, please contact Kyla Welch. Or if you need to reach out to me, I can forward you to Kyla. Oh.
Somebody asked, your symposium, can it count before you get UROP?
So can your symposium count before you do UROP? The symposium presentation can count for our undergraduate research scholar designation, but we want you to present your UROP work. So we have some other opportunities that I'm just going to go through just to let you know. Every year, Utah State and the University of Utah is invited to the Capitol for research on Capitol Hill. Because we are the two top research universities, we are the only colleges and universities that get invited to this event. So it's really exciting. Our next event is going to be on February 26th. We hold it at the Utah State Capitol building. It's for any students who are doing research. What we want to do is we want to look for students who are from all over the state of Utah so that we can invite your legislator to come and talk to you. You can see in this picture, this is how we do it. We line the rotunda with our posters, and then legislators, public, everybody who's at the Capitol comes and talks. It's a really great event if you want to get the word out there to your state legislators. They are the ones who are making decisions with policies and funding, and this is one of our favorite events. The submission will open October 1st. I will send out reminder emails. Having being in UROP and Wilkes, we put you on our listserv, so you'll automatically get the emails that we send out. So if you're interested, watch for that. Yeah, and all UROP students and Wilkes students are invited to apply. Any questions on that? Okay. So our SPUR program, we just recently finished up with our summer program for undergraduate research. Angie Leva in our office is the one who runs this program. So this is a more intensive program than UROP or Wilkes, and it's nationally competitive. So we open this up to students all over the nation. How the way we do it is we have faculty members who submit projects, and then once those projects are selected, students can then apply to work with those specific mentors on their projects. Again, it's more almost full time. It's for the whole month. we go from May to July, and you'll get a $5,000 stipend. And so the next application, it opens in November. So if that's something that you want to look forward to, plan for next summer, then take a look at our SPUR program. We do have scholarships. So we have some very generous folks who give us some money. And so we have the D Foundation, the Francis Family, and the Parent Fund. And this is just additional money you can get for doing your research. So the D Foundation is one that you could get in this fall semester, and then the Francis and the Parent are in the spring. So after maybe you've done your UROP funding and you want to continue your research, take a look at our scholarships. We also have travel and small grants. And so this is just extra money for students who are doing research. So if you know that you're going to be traveling soon, maybe you're going to go give a presentation, you've been accepted to give a presentation, maybe you need to go do some field work. Check out our travel and small grants. We give up to $500, and it can go towards like registration, airfare, lodging, or if you just have some supplies in your office that are not available, maybe your lab doesn't have much money, you can apply for our small grants. These are this is funding that we award every month. And so whatever we get throughout the month, so right now we're in August. So all the applications we get in August, we'll review them in early September, and then we'll award them early September. It has to be for future purchases. So future travel that you're going to be doing, we don't reimburse. So if you're looking to have some more funds, please look at our travel and small grants. So the undergraduate research scholar designation, I had mentioned this a little bit earlier. This is a designation that goes on your transcripts. The university doesn't have too many transcript designations. It's something that sets you kind of apart when you're maybe applying for graduate school, or you can put this on your resume, your CV and your resumes. So in order and you also get a cord to wear at graduation. And then we also have your name listed in the convocation programs during the spring semester as an undergraduate research scholar. So in order to get this scholar designation, you will need to have 2 semesters of research. So if you do UROP or Wilkes, those will count. If you do SPUR, that will count. Or if you're just doing an independent semester, that will also count too. Any semester if you're with a mentor, it doesn't necessarily have to be through our program. But you do have to present at one of our symposiums, either the spring, summer, or fall one that we had already talked about. And you have to publish in our range journal. We'll talk about that in a minute. So you typically apply during the year that you're getting ready to graduate. So anybody who is getting ready to graduate next spring, we have a couple deadlines. And the reason we have that spring early deadline is so that if you want your name in the convocation program, you apply early, we send your name to the registrar's office so they can ensure that it gets in there in a timely manner. And usually whatever semester you're graduating, that's the semester you'll apply for it. Any questions about the designation? We want every one of you to get it. We have a question in the back. Absolutely. Can one of those semesters be the summer semester? Yes. It can be any semester that you are working with a faculty member. Yep. And if it's not through UROP, like we can verify it, right? If it's through our program, we'll know if you did a program, if you did UROP or Wilkes or SPUR. But if you are just working independently with a faculty mentor, we have a faculty verification form that they'll fill out. They'll say what semester you worked with them. Another question. The fall deadline is the last day of class. What's that?
2 different mentors.
It can be 2 different mentors. Yep. It just has to be at least a semester long. So like one mentor, one semester, one mentor. Yep. That's totally fine. If it wasn't through UROP or Wilkes, they would both just fill out those verification forms telling us the semester. Did I see another hand? Okay. So yeah, we highly, highly, highly recommend that you do this. We try to send out reminders. Keep this in the back of your mind when it gets closer to those when you're graduating. Remember that you can get a nice fancy cord to wear during your graduation ceremonies. So the Range Journal, this is a journal that is open to all undergraduates on campus. You can submit as much as you want. You can submit multiple entries. And it depends on, what you want to submit. Maybe you just want to submit an abstract. Maybe you have a paper. Maybe you have an honors thesis that you want to submit. We publish this twice a year. So the next deadline is November 1st, and this will be for publication in January. So for that undergraduate research scholar designation that I had said that you have to publish in the journal, you can apply and just submitting to this range journal will qualify you. Meaning because you might apply now and it might take a few months before you actually get published. That's fine. You'll qualify for that undergraduate research scholar designation as long as you submit something that will eventually get published. Question? So if your mentor is wanting to publish you in something with them, you'll need to check with your mentor. You'll need to check with the other publication. If they don't want you to publish, there is a different format that you can publish with us. Maybe you just submit your abstract to us and you're submitting a paper to the other publication. Or maybe you're just gonna write up a reflection to publish. So double check on those other publications if they allow you to publish somewhere else. If they don't, usually they'll let you just usually they'll let you just submit an abstract. Okay, so our undergraduate research leaders talked a little. Calista, do you want to come up here and share a little bit what you all do as an undergraduate? She shared what she does, but maybe if she can just share a little bit more of, we have 5 undergraduate research leaders that work with us.
Thanks, Cindy. So I'm an undergraduate research leader. I've been working with OUR for over a year now. And basically what we are is just we're students that work with other students. We have office hours where students can make research advising appointments with us to go over all of these opportunities, kind of get their questions answered. We do like tabling opportunities. Most of us, I think all of us have some sort of specialization. Like I said, I'm the social media specialist. Megan does IRB. We also have a STEM specialist, a pre-awards specialist. So kind of there's a lot of us that have something that we're really good at. So if you have questions in any of those areas, you know that there's somebody there that can talk to you about that one thing specifically. But yeah, we just... You've done your Oh, yeah. And also all of the undergraduate research leaders have done research. I want to say all of us have done at least one semester of UROP. We've presented at like the symposiums. Myself, I've even presented at the research on Capitol Hill. So a lot of us also bring our experience with us that can share. If you want to ask questions about anything, we can kind of talk about that.
Awesome. Yes, perfect. Yeah, so definitely reach out to our leaders. They are a great resource. We're not currently hiring, but when a lot of them graduate next spring, we will definitely need to replace them. And then, so yeah, use our undergraduate research leaders. Like Callista said, most of them have done all the things that you are going to be doing. So reach out to them if you're curious, how do I apply for travel and small grants, or, what should my submission look like for this presentation? Please reach out to them. They're on our website. And you can book appointments with them. So Megan, I'm going to let Megan talk about the IRB lab. They mentioned a little bit about it before, but we have some dates and everything on here and why they would maybe need it.
Hi, so I have learned through my time at IRB that we are the most hated part of the research process, and I totally get that. It is a super complicated process to submit your IRB. Does anyone know like what an IRB is? Like show of hands, yes, we know what an IRB is. Wonderful. You have to submit an IRB proposal if you are working with humans in any shape or form. So if you're doing a survey, you need an IRB. If you're doing an experiment where you're maybe using medication, you need an IRB. And so I hold a lab. It's basically every other week where you can drop in at any point in the library, and I help with the application process. I've done the application personally myself, and I work with the IRB lab monthly for their meetings to go over cases. And so I know the requirements very well, and I can help you understand what your research might need, if it's qualifies for expedited process, any things like that. IRB sucks, and we want to make sure that you have resources that you need to make sure that you do it successfully and you can do your research. Is that good? That's perfect. Okay.
Yeah, so definitely reach out to Megan. Megan knows a lot more than anybody else in the office about IRB. And we have students who have just recently completed their IRB process. So yeah, come to the lab or email Megan directly if you have questions with that. And please make sure you get your IRB approval if you need it. It would be really sad that if you were doing any work and you didn't have IRB approval, it would kind of have to be erased or just forgotten and redone. So yeah. So we have something that we do with Funding Fridays. It's a Q&A. It's just online. So if ever you have any questions and you just want to talk about how do I apply for travel and small grants, or, you know, I'm going to go travel to this conference. Where else can I find funding? Or I've heard about UROP funding, or I've heard about getting those scholarships. So every Friday from 1 to 3 over our Zoom, or you can come in person. I think we're still doing it in person. Okay, yeah. In person or over Zoom. One of our undergraduate research leaders will be there to answer any questions that you might have. You're also welcome to contact our office at any time also. We do have a prize and award. So we offer the Monson Essay Prize. This is something we do once a year. We have some donors who love to give money to students who are doing research. This particular one, the Monson Essay Prize, is for a student. It's a $1,500 cash prize for a student who's doing research that has subject to do with social change. So in the springtime, we'll do a call for papers, and if it's something that maybe you have already written a paper on social change, yeah, we're looking for submissions. It's going to be due. Deadline to submit will be March 1st. So watch for those emails if this is something that is related to your research. We also have the Venkatesan Research Award, and this is a newer award where it's a $1,000 award. And this is for research that's focused on or substantially involving real world problems. And both of those are due March 1st. Again, yeah, watch for them on our social media. We'll be announcing them, and then we'll also send out emails. They'll be on our website. So keep those in mind. Okay, so that is the end of our presentation. This is ways that you can get a hold of us. We are located in the Steel Center, which is kind of diagonal across the parking lot. We are always there. We are always remote or in person, so please contact us. And we'll put you on our mailing list so that you can get our newsletters. If anybody has any questions, please feel free to stay afterwards. We're happy to help. But anyways, have a great semester and do good research.